Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I bring you the most disgusting match you have ever seen in your life on both extremes. And with that being said, let's get into the breakdown of the new ship, the Nikolai, the Tier 4 Russian battleship, the first Russian battleship to make its way to console. Absolutely ridiculous. If you watch no more of the video, which I really hope you do, because it's going to be fantastic. If you watch no more of the video, take it away that this thing is fantastic. Okay, let's get to the skills of our commander. First of all, Lev Galler, okay, or Galler, is Tier 7, okay? Keep that in mind as well. Tier 7. He gets a bonus to HE, shell damage, but we don't use HE very often unless we're against destroyers. Andrew Cunningham as our inspiration, because of course it would be 4.5% to the precision of the main batteries. Now we have Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits. We have Collective Labor, which is his interesting perk, which allows you to get an extra damage control charge, and you get plus 5% to damage control party duration. Now, range of the main guns increased with reaching out, and of course I do not have him because I don't have an extra one yet. We're working on it. Anyway, back to the ship. Let's go over the upgrades and loadout. First of all, you get one module, and I put Aiming Systems Mod 1 because, again, dispersion. Getting the guns to hit what they're aiming at is amazing. Next, we have the first thing that we need to talk about. Damage control on this ship is not infinite. It's the only ship currently in the game, which I believe the other Russian battleships will be as well, having this particular thing. So keep that in mind. It is not infinite. You only get 4 uses with our current build because we get the extra one. Now once we get him leveled up, we're going to get 5 damage con uses. So you really have to be selective of when you use your damage con. You'll see why in this match coming up. It's 15.7 seconds duration, which means once you pop it, it'll last 15.7 seconds, which means no fires or floods can be started while you're in that duration. Then it reloads in 30 seconds, which is really fast, especially for a battleship. So that is the trade-off. Now, I didn't put my my alpha tester flag on it yet, so there we go. Alpha tester. Now, survivability, 44,800 hit points at Tier 4. Not bad. Not bad, guys. It's up to 400 millimeters thick on the sides and has a 13% damage reduction, so you don't want to be getting hit with torpedoes, preferably. Anyway, artillery, 305 millimeter guns. However, it has 12 of them. 4 turrets, 3 super firing turrets, which means they can rotate. I say they're not really super firing turrets. They only rotate 180 degrees, but I'll show you that in a minute. But they rotate the right way for what you need it for. Let's just put it that way. Now they have a maximum HE of 4579, 33% chance to set on fire, which is pretty decent. It's right there with most battleships, I think. AP shell maximum damage for citadels is 9,116, so not the best, but not bad. 4.2 kilometer secondaries, and yeah, you may have noticed the casemate guns on the side of this thing are the secondaries. 130 millimeter guns, and it has 20 of them. 10 per side, and they are casemate guns, meaning they can fire not quite 180 degrees down the side of the ship, but it's pretty close. So secondaries, pretty good, but the range isn't the greatest, 4 kilometers, but when things get inside those 4 kilometers, it has a bad day, especially destroyers. Maneuverability, 23 knots top speed, not great, but not bad for an early battleship in the game, so can't really argue with that. Turning radius is fantastic. 660 meters for a battleship. And the rudder shift time is only 10.5 seconds. It's ridiculous. So you're going to see a lot of me using this ship late in the game as a fire, or I'll take the rounds from the enemy ship, and then once I have taken the shot, then I can turn complete broadside and give them all 12 guns. Meaning this ship is absolutely a handful if you're having to fight it. Concealment. It is 12.5 kilometers detectability by sea, which is really good for a battleship. So another good thing. And then, of course, detectability while firing in smoke is 10 kilometers, which isn't great because, you know, it's a battleship. And then the range by air is 10.5 kilometers, which is pretty good as well for a battleship. Now, overview. Ironclad, above average armor thickness. The armor is very, very good on this ship. And you can see those amazing casemate guns right there on the side of the ship. It's just fantastic. So keep that in mind. This thing is tanky as hell, especially when you bow tank and then you can swing out and give them all 12 guns. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a sure shot. Shells with good ballistic trajectory, maintain velocity, making our aiming easier. Yes and no. This thing actually fires higher than most battleships. It's a higher firing arc, which means you gotta, at distance, you have to aim a little bit further out. Lead your target a little bit more because of that extra flight time. However, it also means you're going to be able to get some shots over the top of things like the back side of an island and not actually have to get detected, which means this thing is a very heavy-hitting cruiser sometimes. You can have some nasty sneak attacks on people. Modest guns. The ship is equipped with low-caliber main battery guns because they're only 305 millimeters. However, they are fantastic, and as you can see, this thing is Russian as hell. I enjoy this thing. I'm not going to lie. This thing was a blast. My first game, I did 119,000 damage and brought the team back to win it. It was a good game. And this one's even better, so I hope you guys are ready. Nikolai, the last battleship laid down for the Imperial Russian Navy, developed from the Imperatrice? Okay, we'll go with that one. Mariah class battleships. She inherited high firepower from her predecessors. Experience gained in building early Russian dreadnoughts. Good God, I can't speak. Helped to significantly reinforce the ship's armor, which received an advanced arrangement. As I said, armor, very good. Also, let's take a look at this gorgeous ship, shall we? Right down the front. That's a good-looking ship. I don't care who you are. Like it or not, this is a good-looking ship for an early ship. And those casemates, man. Not to mention the giant turrets that are triple 305s. It's tasty. I could give me a lick in this one. I'm not gonna lie. I might just go up to it and lick the side of it any minute. But anyway, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This ship is a lot of fun to play. It's not overpowered, and trust me, I was considering that thought too. It's really not overpowered. You have to play it correctly in order to get the most out of this ship. It's not something you just point at the enemy and go. That being said, it does reward people that play this thing correctly with absolute disgusting gameplay. And my very first match in this thing, by the way, was 119,000 damage. Okay, first match. Unfortunately, I was updating my OBS at the time, so I didn't get it recorded. However, this one is much, much better. I think you guys are going to enjoy this, but you're also going to be extremely upset with it later on. Because, like I said in my teaser, if you look at the community posts, this will both make you sick for the good reason of it's just an incredible game, and the bad reason because there is just so much stupidity that you just can't get away from. So, with that being said, let's get to the fun here. First of all, what are my thoughts? Why is this thing so good? Well, it's got 12 305mm guns. It's not a Citadel destroyer per se, unless of course you're in a cruiser, in which case you're dead. If you're in a cruiser broadside to this thing, you're dead. If you're in a cruiser angled to this thing, you're probably dead. And if you're in a cruiser and you bow tank or you're kiting away, you'll probably survive, but you're not going to enjoy it. However, with the dispersion build on this thing, it's very, very good. Very, very good. However, the drawback of the battleships for the Russians is you have to be, oh hello St. Louis, I really do apologize for what I'm about to do to you. You are a tier 2 in a tier 4 match, and therefore I sentence you to death. Wait for it. Pow! The uncitadelable got citadeled. You know how hard it is to citadel a St. Louis? Oh, hey, look, torpedoes. That's not preferable. But those aren't the last torpedoes we're going to see, and just like, you know, no problem. He missed us. No big deal. However, this St. Louis just kind of begging for it, and I'm like, I'll just finish him off real quick. Never mind. They can finish him. I'll start shooting at the Duguay. I'm assuming it's Duguay. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't speak French too well. So, too well at all. Let's just put it at all. But we're already at 30,000 damage with, you know, just starting the match. That's just how quickly things can go wrong if you screw up around this ship. It's kind of like a Tier 4 version of the Leon. And the guns are almost the same size as the Leon, too. It doesn't get 16, but it does get 12, and it is pretty accurate for what it is. And, yeah, this guy's getting very lucky. That's 5 overpins, okay? All it takes is 1 or 2 of them to not overpin. And look, because we varied our speed, this destroyer's obviously not used to fighting against people who pay attention. As I say that, the guys in front of me are going to get obliterated. Now, I say there's so much disgusting stuff. At the beginning of this match, I saw what I was up against, and oh my god. Ah, there it is! You played too many times, and you got caught, sunshine. Go back to the port. But, Spartan was a different one. I understand, but he deserved it all the same. That takes us up to 52,000, and we've got our 2 citadels already. So, we're doing okay. And now there's a broadside Wyoming just begging for it, who's not paying it. Oh my god, torpedoes! Crap! I screwed up! Yep, there goes half my health. I burned one of my damage controls, and I burned my first repair. So, that's a thing. But watch the damage control. So, it's a pretty decent duration, and then once it goes away, it's back in 30 seconds. That's fantastic. And as you can see, we got a pretty good hit on the Wyoming there. Not an amazing hit, but we're going to use the island to shield ourselves from the destroyer, which is a G101, I believe. So we're just going to do our best to try to stay away from him for the moment. I get another broadside salvo off at this Wyoming, and yeah, that was a much better salvo. 6 penetrations, 2 overpins, and 1 bounce. There's 12 guns, and we just hit him with 9 of them. That's nasty. But I can't sit there and wait for him to come out the other side. We got more people to worry about. So, on to fighting. Now, what I said before is going to come into play. The fact that this doesn't get an infinite number of damage controls, and there's the island shooting that I was talking about earlier. The nastiest surprise that any battleship captain can think of is getting broadsided by another battleship that you can't see. We were spotted at the time because of the plane, but still, you see what I'm saying. He was spotted, I was able to shoot him over top of the island, which gives you pretty good opportunities for a battleship. Because that was no small island either. Like, that was a significant island. And you can see the G101, not being exactly, you know, sneaky, is coming up for us. So we've got to be ready for that, which is why I'm in full reverse. I do not want to come out past my island. My island is my protector. So we're just going to get into reverse and start sailing away. And there you see we get 1 shatter, 1 deflection, and we did not kill him, or we did not do any damage. What balances this is the fact that you have the limited number of damage controls, which means if you burn it stupidly, aka like I'm about to do in a few moments, then you are going to be hard up later in the later in the match. Hello, Wyoming. You're still broadside, and you're still begging for it, and we're giving it to you. That was another 5 hits out of the... yeah, we fired a full salvo. So 12, 5 hits, and we got 5 penetrations, or 4 penetrations and one shatter. And you can see that they're spamming high explosive. And I just used my second heal, which isn't a bad thing. You don't get a big heal in this thing, but you can see I just burned a damage con for 1 fire. I got a very good salvo off here. He's not going to set me on fire again until after I get reloaded. So I'm going to kill him, However, burning that single damage control right there is going to be the... Oh, speaking of which, oh god, he didn't fire all of his guns. And, okay, we're fine. We're not on fire, we're okay. So, we're going to go ahead, fire the guns at him. That should be the end of him. Now we've got a G101 here again, and because we anticipated this, we're going back the other direction. And this guy's got to be getting frustrated at this point. He's like, what do I have to do to torp this man? It's like he knows that I'm here. And so then he gets frustrated and starts shooting his guns at me, and you can see that I have already loaded high explosive. I'm ready. I knew he was going to be there, and then the fact that he started firing just kind of seals his fate here. He's broadside on to 12 high explosive rounds, and we get absolutely 0 hits. Really? Darn it. I was really hoping to get him off the board there, and then he sets another fire, and wait for it. Am I going to burn the damage con as an idiot? Come on, we already burned one like a dummy. Are we going to do it again? Doesn't look like it. We're okay. We got 13 seconds before we get our heal back. That was actually a very good salvo from that Ishizuki up there. We've got a broadside Kaiser, and once again, we're able to shoot over the island. He gets his shot off, but he had to rush it. He doesn't get a good solid hit on us. He gets some damage, but that's not the, that big a deal. We do burn our last damage control for 1 fire again. So twice in this match, we get 4 damage cons, and we burn 2 different damage cons on 1 fire.
Problem solved, sir.
Don't do that. Because as you're about to find out, I just screwed myself in the most royal way possible. Now, this Koenig is just begging for it. This guy is literally begging for it, and we give him all the beans. 6 penetrations right through the side. Make that 8, plus a deflection, right through the side, taking half of his health in 1 salvo, and we didn't even get a Citadel. And there you see me start using the armor of this ship. I know that I'm low health. I know that I can't afford to take armor-piercing hits right now, so we actually deflected majority of those rounds because we used our armor properly. We bow tank, take the rounds, and then we return fire with overwhelming accuracy and firepower, and then we get set on fire twice because a Japanese battleship just hit us with high explosive. Not preferable. And now I have no damage cons left, which means this fire is going to burn forever, and I have basically no luck left. I've got 10 seconds before I load. This Ishizuki is broadside on and just absolutely begging for it. He hits me, doesn't kill me, leaves me with no health. Come on, Spartan, get the shots. And we get him away. Wait for it. Pow! Throw another 17,000 on the Barbie. And 171,000 damage with 2 kills. At tier 4! What are you doing? This is ridiculous. Surely my team can't possibly lose this match, right? There's no health left on the enemy team, with the exception of the destroyer and this particular battleship, the Koenig that's right next to these guys. These guys are in a division. They're in tier 3 Orions, and the amount of ineptitude that they're about to show. Now, I get it. I get it. It's low tiers. These guys probably have no idea. Well, there's no probably. These guys have no idea what they're doing. So don't think that I'm just beating on these guys or anything. I didn't even say anything in the chat. I was just like, please guys, don't lose this match. That was the only thing that I said in the match. However, as you probably could tell, they're going to lose the match. And it isn't even going to be close. They're spamming high explosive at a broadside battleship at 2.5 kilometers, which if they would just load armor piercing, they could have dealt with in 1, maybe 2 salvos at max. But unfortunately they don't, and because they're sitting there broadside to the other battleship uses armor piercing and takes half of his health. He fires HE once again, and while the guy is burning, he's not actually going to die yet. So, why would you not try armor piercing at this point? Right? You would be like, okay, we got to get rid of this guy, right? But as you're about to see, he takes some nasty hits from distance, and then just as he's about to shoot, he's dead. Oh, nope, he gets the guns off, and then completely misses. No! Are you serious? You threw away all of your health against a guy that had less than half his health, and you did no damage. Like, come on, you didn't even sink him. He's still alive. He's gonna sail away. So, let's look at the other one. Okay, there's a destroyer 2 kilometers away. He's looking at him, and he takes 1 torpedo. He takes 2 torpedoes, and there are 3 and 4 on their way. He finally decides to shoot the destroyer, but it's much too late. He's dead. So, unfortunately, we didn't have the team, but at the same time, we probably wouldn't have had this much damage if we had a team that was useful. The entire team has to potato real hard for me to get 170,000 damage and pull off what I thought was impossible. Notice the XP earned. I earned more XP on a loss than anybody on the enemy team did in a win. I didn't think that was possible, but I just proved it is. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.